15 minutes of truth. Let's get into the mix.
Right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Daily Mix. I'm your host, Omari Jahi. Numerology. Know thyself, and to thyself be true. You know, I think this is a very important thing that needs to be covered, probably in grammar school. I think we should be taught to learn or to strive to know who we are as an individual, and being true to ourselves. Because this is a very powerful statement. I don't think we really understand the need for understanding, not so much knowledge. Understanding is what we need. In the ancient world, math wasn't just about balancing checkbooks. It was a sacred language used to break down our souls. They believed that when you were born, you stepped into a specific vibration, a numerical frequency that dictates your strengths, your hurdles, your weaknesses, and your purpose. And I've been talking about that forever, that knowing that purpose. Why did God create us to be on this planet? It wasn't just to be a bus driver or a politician or anything like that. There's a purpose for us being here, and we need to know what that is. Not knowing your purpose is like trying to navigate a complex city without a map. Well, today, we're going to hand you that map. It's called numerology. We're looking at numerology as the ultimate tool for self-discovery. I'm going to say that again. We're looking at numerology as a tool that each and every one of us can use as self-discovery. Not to tell you what's going to happen like astrology. Every day you want to know what's going to happen in your day or anything like that. It's not about that. But to tell you who you are so you can handle what happens in your life when it does come. Let's get into the math of the self, y'all. Everything in the universe can be reduced to a number. If you, the driver or the pilot, wants to master the vehicle, which is this bodily human flesh, you must understand the actual code or the mechanisms that causes this thing called the human body to operate. Numbers are labels for specific vibrations, just like on a radio, tuning a radio to a certain frequency. Knowing your frequency or your number is like knowing what radio station your soul is tuned to. Calculated from your full birth date, it represents the path you are walking and the lessons you are here to learn. Now, how does this work? Now, I did one of my, let me see, how can I see it? Hold on, I'm bringing it up now. I did one, and I'm gonna bring it up. I gotta share my screen. Hold on, let me share my screen so that you all can see this. There it is. Alrighty. So now, here we go. Let's look at this. Now, numerology, numbers and letters working together. Okay? So now this is the alphabet, A through Z, right? And then there are numbers that correlate with this alphabet, 1 through 26. A is 1, B is 2, 3 is C, so on and so on, right? Now, let's just use my name, Omari Jahi Aten. Each one of these letters I mean, yeah, each one of these letters represent a number. As you can see, the O is 15, right? So we got 15 for O, M, 13, so on and so on, right? So now you have to add these numbers up. But before we do that, I want you to know that each one of these numbers means something. From 1 through 9, the number 1 represents knowledge. The number 2 represents wisdom. 3, understanding. And pause this video. If you're watching the live, go back on the Facebook page and go through the video and pause it and take a picture of it, or pause it and get your piece of paper and write these down so you can refer to them at a later date. But 4 represents foundation, like a floor or room has 4 corners. It's a foundation. 5 is spirituality. 6 represents man. Man was created in 6 days, and on the 7th day, God rested, right? That's the number of man, 6. And also the number of the beast. We'll go into that at another day. 7, perfection. That's the number of perfection. 8, creation and destruction. With the number 8, you have 2 numbers. You have 2 4s, 2 foundations. And on those 2 foundations, you have a 4 and a 4, right? That add up to 8. And on those 2 foundations, one, depending on the direction that you go in your life, it could be creative or it could be destructive. And again, and finally, the number 9 is completion. Like a child takes 9 months to develop in the womb of a mother, and then it comes into birth after 9 months. The number 9 representing completion. Okay. So now let's go back to my name here. So we got the numbers up under here. Now we want to add them up. So the number O, 1 plus 5 equals 6. So the number 1 breaks down to a 6. The M breaks down to a 4. The A, the A is 1. The R is 9. Then the I is 9. So now we have for each one letter of my first name, we have a 6, 4, 1, 9, 9. Now if we add those up, 6 and 4 is 10, plus 1 is 11, plus 9 is 20, plus 9 is 29. And so if we add the 2 and the 9 together, it comes up to an 11, which is a power number. We're not going to get into power numbers on this show, but we'll talk about power numbers a little later. So now maybe I should say my middle name, Jahi, J is 1, A, 1, H is 8, and I is 9. We add that up together, it's 2 plus 8. 1 and 1 is 2. Yes, 1 and 1 is 2. Then the 2 plus 8 is 10. And the 10 plus 9 is 19. You add the 1 and the 9 together, and that's a 10. 1 plus 0, if you break it all the way down, it breaks down to a 1. So for the first name is 11, for the middle name is a 1. Last name, A, 1, T, 2, O, 6, N, 5. Add them up. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 6 is 9, plus 5 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. So now we have first, middle, and last name, 11, 1, and 5. We add those up. 11, 1, and 5 is 17. 1 plus 7 equals 8. So now let's go back. Remember what 8 was? Creation and destruction, right? That means depending on what energy you put in your foundation, what foundation you was raised up on, or things like that, that's going to be whether your life is going to either be a creative life or a destructive life. So now let's go back to I'll stop sharing my screen and we can go back to the reduction method. We were talking about reducing these numbers, and I just showed you how we do that, right? Into a single digit. And then you can understand after reducing it to those single digits what we're operating with. Now, this is the thing. Self-discovery. We have to know this about ourselves if we're going to move forward in our life and have a productive life based on what we were supposed to be and what we are supposed to do in our lives. Now, am I a leader? and I'm acting like I'm a supporter, because there are a lot of people that lead, but I mean, they're leaders, but they don't want the responsibility of being a leader. And so they just act like a supporter, but they really are leaders. Misalignment with your life path number creates an internal friction calculated from the letters, like even with, like I did with the letters of my name. This represents your natural talent and the way you express yourself to the world. When your life path, and that represents what you're doing, matches your expression, how you do it, you find the flow. Now, also, now there's a site, and I want to share with you guys. There's a website, and it's called Numerology.com. It's free. And I want you guys to go to Numerology. Matter of fact, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you this site. Because in it, it helps us to get the answers that we're looking for. Here we are. Now, I've registered with numerology.com, and it was free. I didn't have to give them any bank account information, nothing like that. You register, you put your name, and you have to use your birth name on your birth certificate. You put your birth name in there. You add your the birth date. You create also a password. You create a password. When you do that, then you log in and you come to this page. Now this is the page where you get your chart, and this is the only one that you guys. Now you can look at the other ones if you want to, but I don't know if money is connected to those. I'm sure somewhere on here they're going to be asking for money. That's what they do. But I'm telling you how. What I'm asking you, click on your numerology chart, and then you go down to where it says life path number calculator. And when you click on it, it's moving kind of slow. It'll take you here where you put your month, the day, and the year. Let me see. I wonder if I can go back, because I think I had already did it. Yeah, here we go. Yes. See, I already put mine in March the 9th, 1961. Then you click reveal my life path. And when I did, mine was a number 2. And here's the number 2. And this goes into, I just read the first little sentences. It says, people that were born with a 2 life path were blessed with beautiful hearts that they use to bring beautiful relationships into their lives. All right. Now, the thing that I want you scroll down after it's just maybe about 3 paragraphs, what they're going to tell you about your life path. But the main thing is this little link here. You click on this link after your life path, and it's going to take you to another page. And on this other page, my computer's moving slow. I'll bear witness. It's going to ask you your name and your birth. Here it is. Ask you your full name, or just your first name. It's just asking for your first name, the month you was born, the day you were born, the year you were born. You click on it, and it's going to give you a free personalized video numerology reading. That's going to be specifically, personally for you. Now, with that being said, that's my time, y'all. Know thyself, and to thyself be true. It's very important for us to know ourselves. And when you know yourself, you can almost be certain to know the people around you as well, because there's not too much difference between us. Through the lens of these sacred numbers, we can know ourselves. The confession starts to fade and the mission becomes clear, your mission in life. Don't spend your life trying to play a flute when you were built to be a drum. Find your frequency, stay true to your math, and watch how the universe opens up for you. I'm Amari Jahi, and this has been the Daily Mix. Do the math, stay in the light, and I'll see you next time in the mix.
Take care of your mind, take care of your health, and we'll be back in the mix tomorrow at 12 noon. Till then, peace out.